Hello, welcome back to Homeschooling with Heart. My name is Stef. If this is your first time here, I homeschool one grandson who is 7 years old, and I train one Maverick who is about 5 months old. Maverick would be our puppy. And if you've ever seen that movie Marley and Me, and you know that dog, how he behaved, yeah, multiply that by 10 and add some Cujo. And that would be my Maverick. Anyway, so yeah, that's what I do, and we document our journey homeschooling, and we document a little bit about what we do out here on our brand new homestead. I'm going to talk a little bit about what I learned my first year homeschooling, how I went from the mean old Mimi to the person you see before you now. So if you're into that, if you're feeling like maybe your homeschool needs a change, or this is your first year of homeschooling that you want to make a change but you're afraid to make one, meet me on the other side of this YouTube segment. Hello. So thank you so much for tuning in. And I just want to say something real quick. Thank y'all very much for watching Remington's video. I appreciate it. He appreciates it. Y'all have just made his year. So thank you. I'm telling you what, we are building in a community here, and you guys you're just the best. You really are. So thank you. If you would like to join our community, if you would like to join our journey, we'd love to have you. And I feel like we're kind of starting to get to know each other. And I love the comments. I love replying to people. And I love that you guys came in and watched Remi's video, gave him some thumbs up, and made some comments. He just lit up. So thank you very much. I do appreciate that. So today I'm going to talk about how I learned to evolve, how I learned to trust my gut and make changes to my homeschool as needed, and how I started out as this mean old Mimi, to the person you see before you now, to this crazy lady here. No, seriously though, if you're looking to make changes in your homeschool, then this is the video maybe for you. Hope that you can get some good information from this video. We are going on our second year, so by no means do I have anything down. What I'm just doing is kind of giving some pointers of what helped me through my first year, and what I did to make changes. So the first thing that I did was learn to trust my gut. I started out in my comfort zone. I started out with what I knew, which was public school. Now, that is not the way I wanted to have my homeschool. I didn't want my homeschool to be like public school, but that's all I knew, And I wanted to make my homeschool and cater it to Remi, right? And I wanted to teach him everything. I did, and you guys know how I am about curriculum. I love it. I can't get enough of it. And I only have one. Imagine if I had more. Oh my word. Seriously, I had to learn how to trust my gut. And homeschooling is more than just the curriculum. It's teaching life skills. It's teaching the things that he wants to learn about. And I tried to do all of that at the beginning. And I was like, okay, at 9 o'clock we're doing this, at 9:30 we're doing this, at 10 we're doing this, and I had to stop doing that because it just wasn't working. And that's not what I wanted. That's not the homeschool that I wanted. It was, learning to trust my gut. And also, for me, I didn't want to recreate public school for my classroom. Now, yes, we do have a classroom, and we still use our classroom, but we use it more like an office, right? He has a desk that he is very proud of. And we use it more like an office, especially to try to get away from Maverick. And when we need our quiet space, right? When we need to have room on the floors and the dog doesn't take away our stuff and run down the hall with it. So when we need a quiet place to go, then we have one, and we have one in here. The posters that I put up on the wall, and I need to give you guys a tour. I don't think I've done that. The posters that I put up on the wall are things that he has learned, things that he has accomplished, so that at the end of the year, I can take pictures, and he'll have all the photos of the things that he learned this year. I needed to learn to come out of my comfort zone, and let me tell you, I'm just one of those people that I like my comfort zone. I don't like to get out of it. I want to be in it. But I needed to come out, and I needed to evolve with him. Now, by no means am I an expert. By no means. Will this method work or next year? I don't know. I hope so, but I don't know. Because he's changing, he's getting older, and I'm getting older too, Woo, seasons of our lives. But anyway, so he's going to be changing and evolving. It's just when I think I've got it figured out, right? He's going to change. So if you're not one that wants to recreate public school, then by all means, just trust your instincts. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. Don't be afraid because we're all learning, right? You're learning with your children, and your children are learning with you, and that is part of the beauty of homeschooling. So the second thing I learned was to prioritize. When we first started homeschooling, like I said, I wanted to teach him everything, and I told y'all, his face was just like, what? I'm gonna learn all this, and so I had to pull back a little. When we came back from unschooling, I said, okay, I had read the book, The 3 R's, and I said, okay, in my state, we're going to do what's required. And so prioritizing for me may look different in your homeschool, but for my homeschool, prioritizing meant we are going to start with just the 3 R's. We're going to start with reading, we're going to start with writing, and we're going to start with arithmetic, okay? And that's what we did. Then we added on the child-led unit studies, right? He needed to learn his math. He needed to learn how to write his letters, how to write a sentence, right? So he needed to learn those things. The geography, the science, that can be brought in as soon as, you're comfortable. If you feel like you need to make a change in your homeschool, that is what I did. I just cut back to the things that needed to happen, the things that were required by my state, that said, okay, you have to teach him this, and this. And like I said, the book, The 3 R's, really helped solidify for me that it was okay to do that. I also learned that nothing says that we don't do geography one month and science the next month, right? And for this coming up year, I'm really considering doing history like a semester type deal, doing history for the first 18 weeks and, doing science the next 18 weeks and doing, something else, and kind of spreading it out like that instead of trying to do science, history, geography, all those other things. Just kind of spread it out so that we do have room for the third. Third one is focusing and prioritizing our schedule. Meaning my homeschool doesn't have to be 5 hours a day. It doesn't have to be 6 hours a day. For his age, it really should only be about 2 hours a day. And, we were pretty relaxed and we just kind of did school whenever. Well, that wasn't working for me in my homeschool because I have a lot of doctor's appointments. I have other things that kind of need to get done. I have a maverick that tears up my house. And if he's left alone for too long, he eats an entire cake off the island. So, focusing and prioritizing the schedule of school. Like, okay, we do school from 1 to 3. Now that includes lunch, and it includes getting his wiggles out. It includes kind of like an exercise. A little 15 minutes of exercising for him, not me. And then we, a board game. So things like that are included in our school. And that way I can say from 1 to 3 each day. It's important, then, call. If it's not, just text me and I'll get back to you. But, people know that, okay, from 1 to 3, this is probably what she's doing. I can also go, okay, I'm going to make my doctor's appointments, if possible, for the morning. Or I'm going to make school, adjust my school schedule, an hour earlier or an hour later, but I had to focus in on, okay, this is what needs to be done. And if I don't have some type of schedule, then I'm not going to be able to do all the other things that need to get done. So that's the other thing I did, was I went from this, stringent, this is the schedule, to, okay, just whenever, we're going to leave school at midnight, to, okay, all right, seriously, now we kind of have to block it out just a little bit here. And that doesn't mean that we do the same thing every day. And that doesn't mean that, we don't do a 12 to 2 or 12 to 1 because we've finished everything. But it does mean that when we're done at 3 o'clock, then we're done. Which leads me to the fourth thing, our alone time. To me, you have to have some alone time. One, Remi and I are together all the time, okay? And I don't want to get to that point where we get on each other's nerves, right? I mean, I don't want that to happen. And so from 3 to 4, we have our alone time if we don't have our maverick time. Usually when we come out, we're cleaning up messes of what he's done, or whatever. But, we do try to have our alone time for at least 30 minutes to an hour. And then that way, when that 30 minutes to an hour is up, I've kind of refreshed, he's kind of refreshed, and now we're ready for Pop to come home. We're ready to do our nightly stuff, cook dinner, clean up. So if you're able to set, at least 30 minutes of alone time for your kids, even, if that's screen time, if it's video games for them. If you're a parent that allows that, then, I do not see a problem with Remington having that time alone to watch YouTube or to play a video game. The only rule I have for YouTube is I have to be able to hear what he's watching. And that's the rule I have, so that when I say change it, he changes it. But that is kind of my list of things that I learned and things that I implemented my first year of homeschooling. And the last thing that I'm going to say is, don't worry so much. Don't worry so much about if you're doing everything correctly, if you're doing this right, or if you're doing this right. There's no perfect way. We're always going to be learning. We're always going to be evolving, because I've never taught second grade before. Okay, so I'm going to be learning, right, as we go along. And I have to learn that if I am calm and I am relaxed, then he's going to be calm and he's going to be relaxed. And then he's going to be open to whatever subject we're learning about. So I know it's hard to know that you are enough, but look at me. Look at me. No, really. I want you to look at me. You are enough. You are doing a great job. Okay? So, there you go. That's kind of what I learned my first year of homeschooling, and I hope that this video has helped you in some way. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you. And until we meet again, be good to each other. Bye-bye.